The Power of Women fashion show comes back to Baton Rouge for a third year. New Roads has a brand new parade we'll tell you about. Fathers on a Mission are in the house, but we'll begin with a conversation on mindset. Roll it, Kirk. So, we talk a lot about politics and business and crime and all of those things on the show, but kind of wanted to do something a little bit different today and talk about mindset with my good friend, Pastor Eric Williams with Beacon Light Church. Man, we talk all the time about the way people think and how they move. I think Marcus Aurelius said that your life is what your thoughts make it.
That's a good one.
So let's talk about mindset.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about it. What is your philosophy for having the best, most positive mindset?
Well, first of all, I think it's the people you're around. That's one of the biggest things, is that I think you can never amount to what you've never been exposed to.
Okay.
When you've been exposed to certain things, it helps your mindset. Then this is what they say: if you hang around millionaires, sooner or later, you're going to try to figure out how to become one. It's a mindset.
Right. So, what about avoiding the toxic mindset?
Yeah, that's another piece. Once again, it goes back to the people that we're around. It's like anything else. Whatever you feed the most is what's going to grow.
Yeah.
If you're around negativity, that's what's going to grow. But if you're around something positive, that's what's going to grow. So that mindset, putting myself in situations, whether good or bad, is what I feed the most, is what's going to grow.
So how do you cultivate that? Because I think you have to build a battle rhythm when you're talking about a positive mindset, because it's easy to get caught in the minutia of what happens during the day. How do you keep yourself positive?
Well, I think one of the biggest things as far as keeping yourself positive is that the society in which we live. We're surrounded by so much negative, and and we have to deal with social media, we have to deal with news, but I think sometimes we're inundated with so much negative that sometimes I gotta pull away. Sometimes being by yourself, quiet time, it's time to meditate, time to think. I think those things help you to put things in perspective, to keep your mind, on the right things.
Man, I was at a seminar today at the Business Report, and I was telling you that this philosophy professor from Notre Dame was there, and he talked about something called precursive, how do you put it? Precursive faith. It's faith that precedes evidence. It's like believing something is really going to happen before you have any evidence that it's going to happen. And I think people who are builders always have to live in that space where it's tangible before it's tangible.
There you go.
How do you create that?
Well, first of all, you got to look at, I think, two things: faith and fear. I think faith has to always be over fear. When you look at the word fear, I just believe that it's false evidence appearing real. Let me say it again: false evidence appearing real.
And it's an acronym too. I see what you did there.
There you go. So I think what happens is it has to be faith over fear. Because all of us, whether we believe it or not, we all live by faith. We all live by faith. When I came in this morning with you, I didn't check to see if the chair was going to hold me. I just sat down. So we all live by faith, and I think that's got to be our position: is knowing that eventually it works out for me. That's where faith takes me. That I have to deal with a lot, but I know some kind of way based on the past. Because I tell people all the time, the rearview mirror is just to look in the past, but the windshield is to look forward. And I think sometimes we forget that we stare in the rearview mirror and we forget to look in the windshield.
Can't focus on the loss.
There you go.
You got to keep the win as the focus. So we live in a community, man, and like many communities around the country, where there are parts of our city hope is hard to find. How do you cultivate hope? I mean, you and I believe in investment, but how do you cultivate that?
Well, I think in this, first of all, as a pastor, I believe in the power of prayer. And what I mean when I say I believe in the power of prayer is that sometimes prayer doesn't change the situation, but it changed the way I look at it. It changed the way I see it. It changed the way I feel about it. So I think sometimes for us to have hope, especially in our city, there's a story in the Bible where this one group is taken to a city. And the Bible says that you shouldn't burn the city or destroy the city. It talks about investing in the city. It talks about praying for the city. And I think sometimes we have to realize the place where we live is the place we shouldn't destroy, but it's the place we build up. And so sometimes you got to realize you got to pray for the city. You got to invest in the city.
What is your personal definition of a leader?
Ooh, man, Clay, that's a good one. My definition of a leader is one, first of all, somebody who has been through it. I don't think sometimes you can lead individuals where you have never been. And I think one of the biggest signs as leaders is the experience of what we're trying to accomplish. And so, our world has been, we've seen so many great leaders come through. And I think when you look at the backdrop of those leaders, sometimes you have to really look at the experience that individuals have gone through. And I think sometimes that produces good leadership.
I love it, man. Tell people where they can find Beacon Light.
Oh, man, 7513 Prescott Road, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on all on social media.
I want you to come do the podcast in a few weeks. We can sit upstairs.
There you go.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, Clay, always. Man, I appreciate you coming.
Good guy. Up next, Fathers on a Mission. Great program. We get an update from the founder next. And here's where you can catch me on the socials. Read that graphic. I'm a pretty boring follow, but it's worth it. Man, to keep the vibe going about positivity in the community, Levar Robinson is back with Fathers on a Mission. Love the name of the organization, love the mission of the organization. But if someone just fell off the moon onto Earth and they just heard about foam, what is it?
So, man, I definitely appreciate the invitation to come out and chat about foam again. So, Fathers on a Mission is a fatherhood support organization, right? So, there are many organizations that support mothers and children, which is phenomenal. But what about fathers? Fathers are important. Fathers are head of a household.
That's right.
If they're in the house or not necessarily in the home, but we support fathers in all different aspects of life.
Yes. Kirk, we're going to have him back more often. We're working on something for Jude, So let's talk about that, because the confidence and the importance of fathers is sometimes not talked about. I'm not going to say it's overshadowed, because moms deserve the attention they get because they're so valuable, but so are fathers. How do you begin more of a dialogue in community, because you do it, to get people to understand the role that fathers play in a child's development? Yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said the dialogue, the conversations, right? We have to start having those conversations about fatherhood more than we do. When it comes to mothers, they're going to talk about motherhood anywhere, any time of the day and night, right?
Mother's Day is a national holiday, man.
Right, it gets all the attention, right? And it's good.
What Sunday in June is Father's Day?
Wait, what's coming up?
Right. It's like, you get sales on everything. You can buy tires cheaper on Mother's Day. And anyway, but yeah, I think the dialogue is good. What's been the biggest thing that you've learned leading these discussions with groups around the community about the role of fathers and the importance of fathers?
Yeah, I think just the aspect of having that conversation, right? Because as men, we're taught to be tough. You don't cry, you keep things to yourself. And that has been traumatizing and contaminating for dads all over, everywhere over the years, right? So just being able to have those conversations about what you're dealing with in life, what you're struggling with, what mental health issues you have, just opening the door to have those conversations. So just creating a platform for them to be able to come out and have those conversations has been one of the best things ever. For people who know, you kind of started this all by yourself, working full time at Exxon, and then you've grown this into something that's so important across the parish for people to learn about. Right. What is the next evolution of foam? Man, I never would have imagined that that Fathers on a Mission becoming a statewide organization, right? I was just in New Orleans yesterday at a conference, and we had a huge conversation about the next steps to bring foam to Caddo Parish, to Capital Parish. So that's the next step, is to elevate what we're doing, duplicate the process throughout the state, And what's fascinating about this, there's proven methods like this that have been done in Ohio, in Atlanta, in D.C. So that's our next step, is to continue to grow the organization, to touch, just to even grow it here in Baton Rouge, right, and surrounding areas, but then grow it statewide as opportunities come.
I love that. We were just in Caddo Parish last week talking about an inspiration center up there, and then they want the public safety initiative. So I got about a minute and a half left. Let's talk about a couple of events that are coming up next month,
happen in May?
Right, so we have on March the 8th, we partnered with Home Depot and Rebuild Together Baton Rouge to do crafting with kids. So this is going to be March 8th at the Rebuild Together Baton Rouge warehouse on Prescott Mohican. Again, this is for children and fathers and families to come out and learn crafting skills. We also have our 8th annual Father and Daughter Dance, which is on April 26th, Saturday, April 26th at the Helix Aviation Academy. And what's phenomenal about that is that last year, man, we had 2 jets that were brought out to the dance, so dads and girls were able to go on the jets and take pictures and things like that. And then in in May, on May the 12th, man, we have our first annual Dad's Day at the Capitol. We partnered with Louisiana Policy Institute of Children and Go Far Louisiana to have this Dad's Day at the Capitol inaugural, where we're going to celebrate dads, but mostly advocate for dads for all the barriers that are in place, preventing dads from being involved in their children's lives. It's a huge numbers across our city and state that we're bringing to legislation. So, hey, look, we need to get more bills in place to support fatherhood if we're going to talk about enhancing our children.
Father's on a mission. You see all the great work he's doing. Father's on a mission. And like I said, we got to get you back here to celebrate the legendary holiday that is Father's Day.
Definitely.
I'm telling you right now, the obnoxious level on that show is going to be through the roof. It's going to be so bad, brother.
Let's do it.
Coming up next, the City of New Roads has a brand new parade. We got the scoop, and I hear there might be some pralines in the building. My man. Here's where you can catch the show. Download that WAFB app. It streams on Friday morning, and you can catch it Friday night, 7 o'clock, Saturday replaying at 3. See, this is what I'm talking about. People come to the set, they bring gifts, but check that out. That's the website for the parade taking place this weekend in New Roads, Louisiana. It's an evening parade, the first of its kind in the city of New Roads. Robert Meyer, one of the organizers, easy for me to say, is here with us. He brought swag and goodies. You can come back anytime, my man. How's it going?
Good to see you.
So tell me about the Crew of Cheminov.
Crew of Cheminov. It's that's French
for
New Path, New Road, and obviously it ties back to our origin of New Roads, Louisiana. New Roads has been celebrating Mardi Gras for 102 years. And so I think we know how to do it down there. But so I got together a group of citizens from all over the parish, really, and we decided, hey, you know, how about doing something a little different and doing something fun? And so a family-oriented night parade was the answer.
I love that. I love that. So give me the particulars about getting into the city to come to the parade. When should people arrive? When should they expect the parade to begin?
Well, that's the great part about this. It's not just a parade.
Okay.
It is a day of events.
Okay.
It is a Mardi Gras history, Mardi Gras fun, bands, music, everything that you love about New Roads starts at noon.
Yeah.
And it starts with our STEM Academy there doing a choir presentation. We're going to have a history presentation on Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Noted historian. We're going to have 2 bands.
Okay.
One stage downtown, one stage at the River House uptown. We're going to have a children's zone, fun zone, we'll call it a family fun zone with rides, a petting zoo, pony rides. It's come to New Roads.
Spend the day.
Spend the day.
It's going to be gorgeous on Saturday, too.
Beautiful. 77 degrees.
I do want to say this because you've got 3 grand marshals, one of which obviously is a Point-to-Be Parish native and General Russell Honore. Dee Bro, who's an LSU legend, is going to be one of the grand marshals there. And did you tell me ESPN is going to be like shadowing her for a documentary they're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 3 outstanding, grand marshals, and so we're not a royalty parade. So you know how some bands have one drum major and some have 3. Well, we have 3 grand marshals.
Right.
So Dee Bro, yes, is coming. She's our community representative as a grand marshal. Then we celebrate our military and General Russell Honore. It's the 20th anniversary already
of Katrina. Do you know, I didn't think about that until you said that to me on the call the other day, that it's 20 years.
It's crazy. And so he's done so many things, since Katrina. Of course, he did Katrina. And then Dr. Louis Montalero, who's been there 55 years. But yes, to answer the question, ESPN is doing a documentary on Dee Dee Bro's life.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful life, what she's done, and they'll be there filming.
Now listen, I got less than a minute. How do I get one of those with the, because it lights up and
Oh yeah, let me tell you, this thing lights up in different ways. This is our signature bead.
Okay.
Okay, so the crew summing up, it goes back, when I walked in here, Buskin Bill was out there, right?
Yeah.
And he would come to New Roads and he would throw wholesome bread, little breads,
Yeah.
right? So we're going back to old school with these
Man.
pralines. We're throwing pralines off the floats. We have thousands of pralines to
Yes,
catch.
indeed.
And this bead, yeah, you can come and you can catch these beads as well from the float. So, so this is
this plastic is harder to get into than the Naval Academy.
Yeah,
but,
let's
okay,
get
there
you
we
there.
go. All right.
You in there? Okay, we're going.
30 seconds. We're going to get into it? Yes,
We're gonna,
indeed.
I'm biting. I'm biting. These things are so good.
Yeah.
I hope they still have
Oh,
some.
my God. Yep. I need you to leave 50 or 60 of these here with us before getting over here.
Yeah. I hope they have some left over.
All right, Kirk, we'll bring you some back there in the back.
There you go.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
This weekend in New Roads, downtown, spend the whole day on the west side. Some people say the best side.
That's right.
Up next, the Power of Women fashion show is happening this year. We'll tell you all about it.
And the C-Suite currently features a conversation with Ted James. You can check it out now. Next week's show will be from the Colonel's Club. Oh yeah, get that app.
Man, I'm really liking this show this week. The Power of Women fashion show is coming back, the third year here in Baton Rouge. Nina Ross, they call her the boss. She's the force behind the fashion show. Derek is with us. So let's talk about, for people who may not be aware, what is the Power of Women fashion show?
The Power of Women fashion show, obviously this is our third year. It is an opportunity to bring awareness to things that are happening and turn them to art. No matter your ethnicity, social economic background, or wherever you're from, fashion just brings us together. So it's a beautiful night for us to celebrate while bringing awareness.
I love that. So tell everybody the date. There's the website. You can see on the screen. What's the date of the event?
It is March 30th. Doors open at 5. We will have a live band playing. It'll be an opportunity for vendors to sell, and the show starts exactly at 6:28.
I love that. So the show has a theme, or has a series of themes. Tell us about that.
This year we're going old Hollywood glam, one of my favorites. I think it's a time for us to just get beautiful, bring out the fur, the nice suits. It's just going to be a beautiful night. I'm excited to see it.
She has a treat for you because she's got some models who are here to kind of demonstrate some of what you will see at the event next month. And so y'all can come on out and tell us what we are seeing. Miss Nina, come on out.
So model number 1 is just versatile, just a fun, cute dress. And as you can see, she's playful with it. She's having fun. She got some bohemian braids. So just whatever you feel. Fashion, it's no rules in fashion, which is why I love it. I don't like the rules. So just have fun and come out, feel beautiful, network, and just enjoy your night.
Come on out.
Number 2 is just like a soft, long blazer. If you're a more casual girl, you can add some long denim pants, a nice pump, still feel really gorgeous. And then obviously we love the drama, so we want something fitted to show your silhouette, still takes it back to that old Hollywood glam feel.
Look, I'm sure Johnny Asian is upset that he picked this week not to come to the show to be here for this, but this is great. So in addition to the live music and the gorgeous models you have at the show, you also do some storytelling and you address some pretty serious topics as well, right?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
So one of them is gun violence, right? What does a mom look like? What does that fashion look like if her son or her child has been a victim of gun violence? It's the dark shades, maybe turtlenecks, opioid addiction, breast cancer awareness. What does a lady look like when she's going through chemo and when she's overcome that? It's all going back to fashion. When you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
And so that is what we're going to show.
The one you did last year on domestic violence was powerful.
Thank you.
Like that one, you had everybody's attention. It kind of like moved you into that. And so are there any surprises we could expect? I'm sure there are surprises, I know you, but any surprises you could tell us about that you can give away for free?
Oh, no, not this year, Clay. You have to go get a ticket and come enjoy the night.
So the other thing about this is kind of new for the Capital Region because, you know, we're not known for having big glamorous fashion shows. You've been able to pull this off now 3 years in a row, or three of the last 4 years. And for some young person who wants to be like these elegant ladies here and get into modeling and be a part of this, what advice would you give them?
Just stay consistent, honestly. It's not the market for it, but you can break barriers if you believe in yourself. Find local model agencies and just post your content. I think that's the most important thing.
So, you know, Derek, you've been standing here for about a week and not having a chance to say anything yet. What are your thoughts on the show and what we could expect out there?
The show's amazing, man. I met Nina at the, I think, version 2, volume 2, and pulled up and had a great time. So I'm definitely ready to support for this year. I'm the lead photographer this year, so it's going to be an amazing event.
So I can't get, see, she told me some stuff during commercial break about, but I won't give it away, What if there's a vendor out there who is thinking about wanting to support this? Is there still time for people to do that, to have their companies out there, to be there?
Yes, absolutely. Right on the website, you can click the link if you want to be a vendor. You can submit the information. Obviously, I do an interview process because we just want to make sure that we are presenting ourselves well, and then we will contact them. But yes, it's still time to be a vendor, a designer, and also a sponsor.
That is so awesome. The Power of Women Fashion Show, one more time, March what?
March 30th at 6:28. Doors open at 5.
And where is it again?
Main Gallery 14, excuse me.
Gallery 14. All right. So you got to get out to the fashion show. You can come out. You can have a good time. I was out there last year with some friends. It was really, really, really nice. Enjoyed the time. I enjoy what you're doing for these young women, and because they come from all over, right?
Yes, yes.
What's the furthest away somebody's coming?
New York.
Coming from New York to be in Baton Rouge to be in your show.
Yes.
That is awesome. All right. So listen, if you haven't done so yet, you got to download the WAFB app, so you could watch the show, but also see the C-suite. Shout out to everybody who's been watching that Tom Lang podcast. It's been viewed nearly 27,000 times. I don't know, people are still infatuated with O.J. Simpson, but it's on there right now. You could check that out. This current show features a conversation with Ted James. He talked about his candidacy for mayor, what he's doing with himself right now, what's he got going in the future. The next show will be from the Colonel's Club on Perkins Road here in the library area. We'll talk with Jordan Piazza, who is the owner of Colonel's Club. He'll talk with us about his vision for the place. You'll be able to see it. We'll meet with their executive chef as well, and a few other guests. There's the logo, the C-suite dropping this Monday on the app. You guys have a great weekend. If you're going to the parades, be smart. Be smart. And remember, them troopers are out there, so be sober too. See y'all next week.